I live on a golf course in Rancho Santa Fe, and I develop robotic systems for middle and high school students. Walk a dog for 2 hours a day, and I'm part of the National Defense Industrial Association, San Diego chapter.
Well, thank you for having us today. What are you here to tell us about?
Well, I am the STEM committee chair of the San Diego National Defense Industrial Association, or NDIA for short. We are a educational nonprofit, and we're the forum for the interaction between the government, the defense industry, and the San Diego community. We do a lot of science, technology, engineering, and math events, but we have four main events I'd like to talk to you about. One is the United States Navy Fleet Week, which used to be down in the harbor, now has been done via virtual innovation zone. Next year, we're opening up to every middle and high school in San Diego County to produce a 5-minute video to tell about their group. We're going to pick the 30 best one, and they'll be on video on demand. So it's a great way to advertise your group. We also sponsor the U.S. Navy Gold Coast, and that takes place at the Convention Center, and it's got a huge robotic exhibit, a demonstration. You see what other people are doing, and you get to show off your things. And the students get to meet with government and defense professionals. So there's a great interaction and a great exchange of information. We've also sponsored the Southern California Cyber Cup Challenge. That's been going on for a couple of months now with training, tutoring, qualification, and on May 22nd, it's a Saturday, from 10 to 4:30, there will be the finals. They've being videoed and broadcast, and I think that's going to be really exciting. And what we're here for now is that we're also one of the sponsors for the San Diego Festival of Science and Engineering. And this year we're able to bring two organizations to this. Yesterday, about this time, you saw a group from the Southern California Cyber Cup Challenge, and they did an 18-minute demo. And you're hearing about cybersecurity all the time now. It's a huge weakness in the United States. It's an opportunity for us to catch up. And the Cyber Cup Challenge brings in about 75 teams and 350 students. So I hope you caught that yesterday. And if not, tune into the finals on May 22nd on a Saturday. And what we have next is we've brought on the first robotics challenge, Team Inspiration. This is a fantastic group of 14 middle and high school students. They've won over 50 awards, and they are the only high school to win RoboSub down at Spaywar. And they competed against 64 teams, mostly college teams. In its 23-year history, they really shine each year they've been in it. Part of their motto is to inspire, and that's what they do. We've seen that in a number of areas, connections to Benin, Africa, and other places. And so I'd like to lead into them so that they can give you a great demonstration of what they do.
Hey, here they are, guys. All right, Team Inspiration, are you guys there?
Hi! You guys able to hear us?
I am. So what do you guys have to show me?
So we're going to show you a few of our robots today, and we're going to walk you through how we program one of them. I can go ahead and start off with our team introduction really quick.
So that's great, and you're going to have to turn the volume down on one of the computers that you're working on. That's okay.
Go ahead and see if we can fix that.
But as you do that, you can proceed with your introduction.
Great. So we're Team Inspiration. Our motto is to learn, to share, to innovate, and to inspire. Are you guys able to hear me well?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Great. Okay. So we're a diverse community robotics team. We are a diverse community robotics team, and we participate in many robotics competitions. Through hard work and dedication, our team has won more than 50 awards, and we've been featured on a national news network. Some of the awards that we've won are the FLL Champion Award, the FTC Inspire Award, and the RoboSub IEEE Innovation Award. So All of our team members started off our robotics journey in the first LEGO League, and this is part of the organization First, which encourages kids to explore science and technology by building robots through engaging hands-on robotics challenges developed to ignite curiosity and passion in students. After discovering our love for STEM, we started participating in the first the skills we learned in FLL. Our team's experience in robotics helped us make a splash into RoboSub, which is a robotics competition where you program underwater autonomous vehicles. So they're like submarines that run all by themselves. Now, I think that we should go ahead and see how we can all get started with building our own robots.
Well, creating a good robot always starts with the engineering design process. We begin by asking ourselves, what are our robot's requirements? Requirements are the things that the robot must do to achieve the goal. On our team, we create robot designs that can accomplish competence challenges and fulfill the requirements. After imagining possible robot designs, our team compares them to one another to decide what the design we will build is. This stage is the planning stage. Then we build each component and put them together to create our robot. Alongside this, we create the robot program, which will work hand in hand with the robot design. Finally, we extensively test our robot's capabilities to see how we can improve. Then the whole process repeats to build even better robots.
Cool.
Yep.
And do you guys have, is there more, or do you guys have robots to show us?
Oh, we have some robots to show you. So actually we wanted to build a robot with you guys. As you can see here, we have this Lego robot, and this robot's actually used in a competition called the First Lego League. And as you can see, it's made of Legos. So just like any regular Lego set, you can build it and then take it apart. So for those of you watching, if you have a Lego set, you're probably already an engineer. Yeah. This robot actually also has three main parts. First, it has a brick. We call this the brick, and this serves as the robot's brain. And on it, it has a screen, some buttons, and what's called a CPU, which is a central processing unit. This little brick here, it's not that small, but it powers the whole entire robot, so without it, our robot would not function.
Now these are the motors, and as you can see, they're pretty spinny, so they love to spin around. And much like how we use our legs to get around, right? So I might walk from one place to the other, these motors work very similarly. They have, when I put a spinning axle through the middle and connect a tire, how we did on this robot, then we'll actually be able to have it move around, kind of like a car, but much smarter.
The robot also needs to interact with its environment. So in order to do that, the robot has some sensors. And as you can see here, it's an example of a sensor. Just like how humans have eyes, mouths, ears, the robot also has parts that it uses to interact with its environment.
Oh, we suddenly lost your audio. Hold on one second. Let's see what's going on out there. Did I lose your audio? Hold on.
As the robot's eyes. And the way it works is similar to how an owl does echolocation, as you saw with Alberto. What this does is it sends out a high frequency wave, and it will reflect onto different objects. And the time it takes for that sound wave to return back to the sensor, the sensor can detect how far away the sensor is from the object it's bouncing off of.
So we just kind of showed you what the robot's built of, right? And when you put all the little pieces together with a little bit of Lego engineering, then you're able to achieve this final product. But it's actually able to work and do some pretty cool stuff. For example, we're actually going to be coding a demo together. So here's a sample, and let's move this stuff out of the way. Here's a sample of what we'll be achieving today. As you see, it's a little program that will try to stay a certain distance away from my hand. See? So you can almost think like it's social distancing from my hand. And it got a little bit loud there, but robots are loud. So we're actually going to work together to program this. So first, Shruti, how about we sign in?
What's the computer lock?
Yeah, so we're going to sign in, and let's swap over to the other camera where we're able to see our laptop, and I hope we see it nice and clearly. So as you see, this was actually the program that we ran together. And now let's actually work together to try to build the project. So let's go home, we'll create a new project, let's say, and we're here in this little interface. And how about I zoom in so things are just a tad bigger. So now, as we see, there's actually, let's first learn about our environment around us. So there's really a few different sections or blocks we care about, like it's a little programming thingy that kind of looks just like a few digital Lego blocks. So in this pink section is what we call movement. Now this is really important, and this is how we'll actually be moving things, and we'll use that much in the program today. Then there's the display and sound, which aren't as important, but we're able to use to try to change the screen on the robot, right? So we have like a screen on the robot over here, we can have it show something, or do other stuff like that. Then there's a sound where we have the speaker and we can play different sounds. It can be a ping, a cheering noise, or anything to maybe confirm or show something. Next, we have events, which are kind of like the bread and butter of the program and starting to get into much more of the logic. So we have various events. For example, one right here is when program starts. So when I click the gray play button on the robot right here, then it will do something. And we can have events for different sensors and other stuff like that. So try thinking to yourself, what are some examples of events we could use? We're not using an event today, but we could be using events later on. In different cases. Then there's control, which is where things start to get a lot more fun and my personal favorite part of programming. In control, we're able to do things like wait. So maybe wait 1 or 2 seconds before moving on. We could do even much cooler things, like we could repeat something, loop it once, twice, 10, 10,000, or even infinite times, as we'll see later on in this program. Then there's the if statement, which is one of my favorite parts of programming and one of the most important parts. So an if statement uses logic. So you might be thinking, what's a real life example? One example is, let's say I'm going outside and I need to determine whether or not I need an umbrella. I can take a look out the window and say, if it is raining, then bring an umbrella. If it's not raining, I don't bring an umbrella. That's one example. And we'll be running through if statements quite a lot in today's program. Then there's sensors, the blue section, where we're able to get a feed from the sensors or even use some logic, like is this little touch sensor button, is it pressed? Is my hand 10 inches away from the sensor, which is something you might want to keep in mind. And we'll just continue down that list. And then finally, there's operators. And operators are kind of like a bit of math. So whether you like math or dislike math, math is a core part of programming. So we'll be able to use math to either add numbers or even use logic, like say, oh, we need one thing or the other, this and that, which again we'll touch on in today's program. Now, let's actually build the thing. So let's start with introducing a loop. So I want this program to keep running until I tell it to stop. So in the program's eyes, that's basically a forever loop. So let's drag one in there. Now, I remember talking earlier how in the program, as we see a demo, there'll be 3 things, right? So if my hand's really far away, it'll go forward. If my hand's really close, it'll go backwards. And if I'm that magic, perfect Goldilocks distance away, then it'll just stand in place. Let's try to replicate that. So let's try to think. How many stages were there? There were really 3 main stages, right? We're too close, we're just right, or we're too far. So that would mean that we have 3 if statements, right? So let's drag 3 in there. And it makes a nice little click sound, although you guys can't hear it. So then we'll just drag 3 if statements. So the first one, so then now what we do is inside this little hexagon over here, that's where we'll drag logic into place. So that's where we'll take the sensor thing. So we have this little icon for the ultrasonic sensor. So if the distance is less than 15 centimeters. So if it's less than 15 centimeters, that means that we are very close, right? So that means that we need to kind of back up, right? Because we're trying to stay 15 centimeters away. So what we'll do is we will have one of these. We will say move straight, right? So start moving straight. And then we'll set the speed for us. We'll set the speed to 50. Oh no, that's right. Sorry. And let's just refer to how we did it over here. So we had it like this. Start moving at 50 speed. So sometimes the box can get a bit mixed matched. So this one. Start moving straight at 50 speed. Okay, now we could move at full speed, but that'd be a bit too fast, right? And you can have the speed vary, much like how maybe when you're driving, you can go faster or slower. Now, let's move on to the next one. So we can actually just right-click and click duplicate. So let's move on to the next one and say if distance is greater than 15 centimeters. If it's greater, that means that we're really far away and we want to get closer. So that means that we need to actually move forward. And actually I made a mistake here. So I said positive 50 is actually supposed to be negative 50 since we're supposed to move backwards. So let's actually duplicate this block and put it here. And then we can start moving straight, this time at positive 50 speed. Now, we'll be able to move forward or backwards depending on where the robot is. But then what if the robot's in that right distance, right? Then we probably don't want to move at all. So we're going to use what's called this AND operator, which means that we're looking for two different conditions. The first condition is whether or not we're actually closer. And I see that I accidentally popped it off. So let's just fix that. Great. So we'll bring both these operators in here. These are called operators, by the way. And then what I can say is if we're actually less than 16 centimeters and we're greater than 14, that means we have a little bit of padding. And we want to put a little bit of padding because we'll never be at exactly 15 centimeters, right? Because even if we try to measure it out perfectly, it might measure 15.001. And that means it wouldn't count. And that means our robot would be all like jittery. And we don't want that, right? So once we have this condition, then we might say stop moving. That's there. Let's actually run the program. I've already connected the robot, so we just hit the play button. And why don't we move over to the main camera to see it run? See? And you guys are able to see this robot, correct? Awesome. So as you see, it says the perfect distance from my hand or Shippy's hand.
This is really similar to social distancing because if you're too close to someone,
bad.
it's not good.
But if you're too far, I can't hear them, right? Oh, let's not let this run off the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, mistakes always happen in robotics, right? That's the fun part. And that's...
Hey, we lost your audio. All right, Team Inspiration, we lost your audio real quick. Stand by. Oh, here they come. They're back.
Okay, so we named this robot, which is our FCC robot, Pond. This one was also our FCC robot, which was named Lake. Both of them were from this year. And then if we move on to here, this is our RoboStop robot, which we competed with last year. So they're all pretty big, and just like the robot you guys saw, these also have motors, sensors, and a brain.
As you can see here, there's a rev expansion hub, and this serves as the brain of the robot, and these are motors, and there's also some sensors here. Okay. Yeah, now let's see Rhino run the robot.
That's the funnest part.
Yep.
Let's do the wobble boy, yeah. Do you want a second camera? Down a bit more.
See, currently Rhino is running it with remote control, and it's actually same remote control you probably do gaming with. Or you can use playing the robot.
Yeah.
And right over here, the robot is collecting all of the rings on the field.
And it's very loud. Yeah. And right now is when it would actually be shooting the rings into that top goal.
So on this little structure over here, this is the goal where all of the rings go into for this robot.
Yeah. So it would be shooting the rings into there. Unfortunately, the shooter seems to be a tad jammed right now.
Can you
which is
unjam it? We're dying to see.
but-
Radical Rob wants to know if it's going to smash anything.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
See if you can unjam
Great,
it.
thank you guys.
We like seeing things fly. We've been watching things get shot out of various apparatus all day.
All day.
Can you make it shoot?
Can we make it shoot?
Can you unstick whatever?
Yes, that's what we'll be working on. That's what we're just trying to unjam it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my boy over here, Rojo the Red Robot, has been quite entertained
Yes.
by this. What do you think, Rojo? What do you think about things? Whoa! He's feeling a little gassy.
It's pretty
He's
cool.
digging your dance.
Pretty feisty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's feisty. Is he going to dance? That was his dance?
That's his main move.
Team Inspiration, the ones that were on the table, the little ones, the one that we built that did the social distancing. Where do I get one of those? What's one of those cost?
So these robots are actually part of an education kit. So Ashka, why don't you show the robots themselves? So as you can see on the moving camera right there, we have one of our robots. This is the sample built out of the parts from that kit. So you can get the kit directly from Lego Education, their education store, for I don't have the exact price off my head, but it's around $300 to $500 depending on the configuration you get. Like if you get more or less parts.
Okay.
And you can use it to compete in robotics competition. So this is the exact robot. This is the exact robot we used to compete in the first Lego League competition. The competition is designed for anyone ranging from 3rd grade up to 8th grade. So even if you're just getting started and interested in STEM, we think this is a phenomenal way to just go in the water and dip your toe and get started with STEM. And
Actually, all of our team members all started off with First Lego League. So if it weren't for that, we wouldn't have the same understanding we do of these more advanced robots. So if you're younger and you're really interested in robotics, First Lego League is definitely a great way to get started in it. And as you can see, all of us continued on that path, and now we're doing much bigger, more advanced robots, like this one.
yeah, like this one, or even that robot over there. While it's not in the water right now, that would sure be a lot more exciting. It just goes underwater in big pools, much like it's like a mini submarine. And I'd also like to add that you can often find teams for First Lego League and other robotics at your school. So I actually got started through a school team, and so did most of our team members. So keep in touch with your school. They often have robotic teams that they'd love for you to join.
And if
And
you
how-
guys
how
want
old is
more
one
help,
generally
you
when
can
one
check
starts
out our
Lego
team's
Robotics?
website.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
How old is one when one generally starts with Lego Robotics?
Yeah, they can be as young as 3rd grade, so around 7-ish. In fact, that's when some of our team members started. We've had quite a few team members start at the young age of 7.
That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome. All right, Team Inspiration. Thank you guys very much for joining
Yeah,
us.
and we just love to give a little goodbye message.
Yeah, so thank you all for watching today. This was super fun for all of us. Please go check out First at firstinspires.org to get involved in your own robotics journey. And check out our team at bit.ly/team11128 for if you have any more questions about robotics. Thank you.
Yeah.
on being mini engineers.
You
Bye.
guys are an
Bye, thank you so
inspiration,
much.
Team Inspiration.
You guys really are an inspiration. Wow, that was pretty cool, huh, Rob?
Yeah, that was awesome, man.